This is Lady Myya. I have Kerry and Q in on here. she she
Hi.
is such a wonderful person, you guys. Okay, I'm just telling you how multi-talented this woman is. She is phenomenal. Okay, y'all gonna see it in a second. She is a fashion merchant. Okay, a businesswoman, a philanthropist. My favorite word, because I want to
Oh,
do that too. Which has impacted her community, you guys. Not just her and her family. She said, I gotta get the folks. Okay. So
I
you
get
know
my
what?
people.
I'm gonna have you guys welcome Miss Kerry. Why?
Hi everyone. How are you?
She is wonderful. Look at her. She's glowing. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm
I
glowing in
love
bad lighting.
No, you're fine. You're perfect. Don't worry about it. We're
Thank
having
you
we're
for
look,
having me on your
lay
show,
back.
Lady Myya.
Lay back and relax, girlfriend. Okay, so I see that you are from Kingston, Jamaica.
Yes, I was born in Kingston, Jamaica. Born in Kingston, but came here when I was 2. So
Mm,
I've been
okay.
raised in the States. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I make sure to try to visit as often as I can,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Well, if in that respect, how different is it from Jamaica to the U.S.? Like, how, is it like real big different?
Yeah, because it's a small country. It's a small little island, but it's
Mm-hmm.
so full of life, so laid back. Like anyone that really gets to know me and know like I'm a free spirit, and sometimes that can be annoying because I'm like sometimes too laxed. Like my vibe is the epitome of what Jamaica is. It's just a chill, laid back, beautiful island. And I try to go there as much as I can just because it's such a perfect reset for me.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I love that island. I love my
Oh,
beautiful island.
oh, I would love that. I need to go. I need to go. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So from Kingston to Richmond,
Hmm.
that had to be a culture shock,
Yeah,
huh?
the funny thing is, it was from Kingston to my mom moved to New York first, and of course I was a
Okay.
baby. I was 2. She moved to New
Mm-hmm.
York first, and then moved to Connecticut, right outside of New York.
Right.
And we were in Connecticut. We were in Stamford, Connecticut, till I was around 9 years old, and
Oh,
then 89 we moved to Richmond, Virginia. So I was in 4th grade, and so just I don't because I was so young, the culture shock from Jamaica to the States, I can't really experience. I can't really talk to it,
right.
but I will tell you from moving from Connecticut to Richmond, the culture
Oh.
shock of that. Moving down south at that age was definitely a shift change for me.
Yes.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay, no, I understand. So like in your mindset at that point in time, was it like why? Why? Like why are we
Yeah,
doing this or why are we going this
I
way?
did not want my mom to move. I didn't understand it. Well, when you're that young, I was
Yeah.
8, 9 years old, so I had my friends.
Mm-hmm.
But where we lived, the surroundings weren't great. But as a kid, you don't focus on that. Like I didn't realize how bad our area was until I got older, and there were certain things that I would remember from. I mean, funny enough, watching television, I'm like, oh, I
Mm,
used to see that all the time. But because I
right.
was young, it wasn't. That wasn't anything to
Intense.
say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then she moved down to Richmond, and we were living in a complex, townhome, and then with a
Mm-hmm.
playground and
Oh.
greenery, and yeah, that part was different,
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't have that in Connecticut.
Right.
um but oh, I fought her for the longest. I was such a pain to her. I resented her moving for the longest time, my poor mother. um and gave her a hard time about it, but she was doing it because she wanted the best for me. She wanted us out of our area, out of our neighborhood. Um,
Mhm.
so you
Yes.
do what you have to do for your kids.
Of course, always. No, I hear you. So,
Yeah.
like, okay, so what did you make of your like your life at that point in time? Like when you finally got to graduating and what was
Hmm.
the mindset
Graduating from college
from
or
high school?
graduating from high school. Wow. So So my high school is predominantly white high school. Um, there is a lot of things I experienced. Not only was it predominantly white, but it was pretty much affluent. So the the high school that I was, they used to call it the 90210 of like the West End. So you
Uh-huh.
either had the white kids that were driving BMW and Benzes that their parents, bought for them or handed them down, and to kids that didn't have any car, or if they did, it wasn't that.
Mhm.
Um, I dealt with a lot of microaggressions, of course, but one of the things I said that was best about my high school is even though there was probably like 15 of us black kids, like we stuck together because it was us. You know what I'm saying?
Us against
Um,
them.
and it wasn't even that. It was just like your comfort level, you
True.
know. We had different experiences from them.
Mm.
And when you're already born into a certain lifestyle or have certain entitlements, you don't understand other people's
Yeah,
experiences. So, and it's human nature, right, to naturally
yeah,
adapt to
it's
and be
true.
comfortable to who you can familiarize yourself with or who you can share commonalities with. So that was high school. And then when I went to college, it wasn't a big transition for me. So I have two things that I regret. One, I regret not going to a HBCU.
Mm.
And two, I regret not going far from college. But being my mother's only child, when it was time for me to go, because I had actually applied for Clark Atlanta and got accepted at Clark Atlanta, I was set to go, and my mom had like a breakdown, and she was not ready for me to leave her.
Uh-oh.
And so yeah, and so because of that, I ended up staying at Virginia Commonwealth University, which is right like up the highway from me. And
Okay.
because it was so close to me, I decided not to live on campus, but I
Mm-hmm.
decided to move into my own apartment with two other friends. Probably
Okay.
the worst mistake you can do at 18 years old
Oh,
because
that's
you
true.
feel like you're free. I thought I was grown. I was partying a
Uh-oh.
lot, and had an 8 a.m. English class. So needless to say that I didn't do well my first semester. So it literally took me a few years to actually get my GPA to where I needed to get to because I messed up so much my first semester. But
Oh,
you live and you learn. But back to
wow.
your question, it wasn't that big because I didn't move away and go away to college.
Mhm.
I don't feel like I got the full college life.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the full
That
college
makes sense.
experience.
So
But
where did fashion come in? Because that's really intriguing to me. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, it's got to be somewhere in there.
yeah, and the funniest thing, as a kid, I always wanted to be a fashion designer.
Oh.
My grandmother, my mom's mom, when my mother was a child, she had three older kids, my mom and two of my uncles. When she was in Jamaica, she wanted to go to London to pursue fashion. And so she made a decision that she was going to go to London. So my mom, my uncle stayed back with my grandfather in Jamaica while my grandmother moved to London to try to pursue fashion. So I don't know if that part was in my,
It's in your
I got
DNA.
if it's in my DNA, because
Yeah.
nobody in my family really does fashion. If I'm really thinking about it, I have a cousin who has always been like, she's more an artist, but she's always been into fashion and things like that. But from
Hmm.
young, I wanted to be a fashion designer. That's what I wanted to do. When I got older and realized I couldn't draw a lick, I was like, so maybe the design part is not going to work out for me. But as I went to college, before I went to college, I knew that I wanted to major in fashion. When I realized it was a fashion merchandising program and it wasn't just design, it was separate. And I was like, sure, I want to get in the business part of fashion. I can do that. Since I can't draw, I can do that, but I'm gonna be in fashion. And so I was determined, and I got it from all ends. Like, you're not gonna get paid doing this. Do something substantial. But I'm hard headed. I'm like, nope. I want to do fashion. I've always wanted to do fashion. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
So luckily, at VCU though, they have a great arts program, and their fashion program is pretty good. So yeah, I studied fashion,
Nice.
and I stayed in Richmond for a while, and Richmond, Virginia just ain't the place for fashion. And it's so funny because I was working at this company that they developed software, integrated software for golf courses. This is how far off you can,
Oh, wow.
painting the picture of how far off I was after I graduated school. So started working for this company, and that's when I met Najia. So, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
there was a
so
reason.
yes, there's a reason. So that's when I met Najia, and we, Najia, for everyone that's listening, I'm sure our Lady Myya has been talking about her a lot,
Yeah.
but Najia is the founder of the organization we're part of, Promote Her. So just to date back on how long I've known her, she's the one that convinced me. She was like, "What are you doing here?" And I was
Mm.
like, I just broke down. I don't know. I don't want to be here, and I want to go to New York. And she was like, "If you want to go to New York, you got to just have faith and just do it." And we had that conversation. Probably like a couple months later, my dad had a cousin who had a place in the Bronx, and her studio was about to be vacant. And she was like, "You can rent this studio for dirt cheap." I packed up my little Nissan Altima with no job in sight, not strictly on faith,
Yeah.
and drove up to the Bronx. And I never looked back to Virginia ever since.
That's a blessing. That was a big blessing too.
Listen, it wasn't easy. It was definitely, because so I was doing odd jobs, and whether it was like liquor promotions, like anything to make some money. And then
Mm.
I found this one temp agency that was catered towards fashion jobs. And I got hired at a company. They called it a fashion assistant, but it's a receptionist. And I got hired as a receptionist, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of like I just worked my way up in the company. And I'm still in the subsidiary, the parent company to that, because that company is no more. But
Mm-hmm.
I've been at the parent company now for like 12 years.
Wow.
But I just worked my way up to my position today as merchandiser. So yeah, so now I merchandise for men's tailored suits.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yep,
Yes.
that's my
Woohoo!
fashion story.
She got it, honey. She
Oh,
got
please.
it.
Sounds way more glamorous than what it is.
Honey, I'm telling you, it's more glamorous than most people, okay? Let's go there. But you got to start somewhere, and when you go out on faith, it will work out. You just got
Yep,
to hang in there, though, you
yep,
know?
yep,
So
absolutely.
I'm interested. This vitamin M box,
Yes.
what is this?
Yes. So the vitamin M box, M stands for all things melanin. It was a subscription box that I created 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I've always been an advocate for supporting our businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And I naturally always, purchase products from our businesses, always pushed people for purchasing products. And I've always been a supporter, whether it's on social media or whatever. I was always bigging up these businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And one year I was like, you know what, I really want to do something bigger than just telling people about it, for two reasons. One, because we need that platform.
Yes.
And two, there were so many negative stereotypes that surrounds Black owned businesses, whether we give bad customer service, bad quality products, whether you can never receive products on time, like all of these negative stereotypes. And because I was always supporting brands, then I found that not to be true. Like that wasn't my experience. So I
Mm.
wanted to put that out there to kill the negative stereotype of us. And I
Right.
didn't know how to go about doing it. So one of my best friends, she lives in LA. She has a marketing firm. I, asked her like, how do this is my idea. How do you think I should go about doing it? And at that time, subscription boxes were really popular.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, let's aim for subscription boxes. And I loved it because that way, when people subscribe, every month you're receiving products from Black owned businesses. And
Yeah.
it was a way to distribute these businesses, nationwide.
Mm-hmm.
So we came up with the vitamin M box, and this past May makes it 3 years in. And it's still my baby. I absolutely love it. I've met so many dope creatives,
Mm-hmm.
and Black entrepreneurs during this time. every third month, I donate a portion of the proceeds to a charity or nonprofit that aids in uplifting and building the Black and Brown community.
Yeah.
So that's another aspect of it I love. But yeah, that's how the Vitamin M box got birthed.
Okay. I'm curious. Okay, so when you say product
hmm
that's in
Oh,
the
and
vitamin
let me
M,
specify products in
yes.
all different industries.
Okay.
So when I did my research, I was like, were there any subscription boxes for us? And there are quite a few, but they're all a niche industry. So
Mm,
you have one for hair, you might have one for like bath and body. They were all specific, and I wanted to make sure that it was curated with products in different industries. And I try my best every month to make sure it's curated for you to have a taste, because I don't want to feel like when you get subscription boxes, it's easy to feel like you're hoarding things because every month you're getting these items and you're
mm-hmm.
not going through them enough, and then now you just have a shelf of stuff, and I didn't want it to be that, right? So every month I want you to get like a taste of different things. So it's beauty, bath and body, I've had culinary in there, so spices, I've had teas in there,
Mm-hmm.
um art, literature, I've had like canvas paintings in there, I've had books. So yeah, it's a fun box, it really is.
That is amazing. Okay, so where, you know, for me, where can I get that?
Uh-huh. So my site is www.thevitaminmbox.com.
Mm, love it. Love it. She already did it. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. I'm so intrigued because you had on there, or at least on your bio that I got a chance to read. You guys, this thing is like amazing. I'm just saying. She is a philanthropist, also an entrepreneur working with other businesses, and in the way, and I'm guessing, you're doing it through the vitamin inbox,
Right.
but you're also supporting some of them, aren't you?
Yes. So this year I had to make a decision because profit wise, subscription boxes are a challenge. So
Yeah.
I had to make the decision to restructure. It was either end my business, which I would have broke my heart, or restructure and revitalize the brand.
Hmm.
And that's why this year I told myself I was going to dig in and just educate myself just on business,
Yeah.
because that's something that I knew that I wasn't well versed in. I'm a creative, so I have ideas, I shoot it out and watch how it works, and without the back end of it. Like, you have to know, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you have to know business, you have to know what it's doing profit wise, like you have to know all these things, and I just didn't care about that stuff. I just wanted it to throw the idea out there, see if you guys like it, see if you bought it, and that's just not how business works. And
Right.
so of course, Promote Her has been helping me a lot because we have so many, resources within our organization that can help us. But then also joining another group, Marquis Davenport's group, Straight to the Top. And he's the wealth strategist, so he is all numbers. He's finances. He teaches us about our profit and loss statement. He
Mm.
even instills a confidence in us to be able to talk about our brand. So every Monday we have like this think tank call, to where he has us celebrating our wins for the week, where he asks us to introduce ourselves and what our brand is, the impact statement.
Yeah.
Just instills a different confidence to where I already feel like it's June now, and I already feel like I'm so much further ahead than where I was just
Mm.
December, you
Yes.
know. So I have restructured Vitamin M, and it's now a national marketing platform that increases the brand's profitability and visibility coast to coast, utilizing curated distribution and targeted strategies of advertisement.
Wow.
And that is a mouthful.
Yes, it is.
And I restructured this way because I'm naturally a curator. So while
Hmm.
I also curate my boxes, I have done events where I curate, where it's shopping, pampering, networking, and then
Hmm.
now that we'll talk. I guess we'll talk about it later. Now that I have my show coming up, it has allowed me, yay! It
I
has
know.
allowed me to also curate different platforms to give Black-owned businesses opportunities to advertise. So I've
Yes.
been able to develop different packaging and ways just to get these businesses out there a wider level and more than just product-based businesses. Now I can focus on all Black-owned businesses. So I'm super excited about that.
I'm excited. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. I want you to paint a picture for me.
Uh-huh.
I want to know where and how big you want this thing to be.
Oh God, I want it global.
Yes.
Global.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So in what aspect?
I want us, right? And I said this on one of my shows. I said we are such dope creatives. We're so brilliant. And it's not just African Americans, it's us in different diasporas, right?
Right.
But what people need to understand is our services and our products are not exclusive to us.
No.
So I feel like with other communities here, well, not now, because now you're starting to see, people interested in our businesses. But when they heard Black-owned businesses, I feel like they automatically straight away.
Right.
But if there's a business making body butter, why can't everybody use body butter? If somebody has a financial service or a realtor or marketing, like, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, so my message is out there. I want everybody to know, everyone to know about us. Just know that we created it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But just for everyone in
Right.
every community to know about us, because our businesses have to scale, right? Mm-hmm. And it's hard for us to scale if we stick within the confines of our community. We do it because we do need that safe space, and especially prior to this, we needed our safe space. And because there's so many big box brands out there that they didn't see us. It was not for us. Perfect example. One of the brands that I have collabed with a couple times is a brand called Brownages. And they created their business because Band-Aids didn't reflect our skin tone, right? Yes. So you just had this one flesh color Band-Aid that you always see, and their Band-Aids is all of our shades and all of our skin tones. Nice. And then now that everything's happening, all of a sudden Johnson & Johnson is now putting out Band-Aids of every, you know what I mean? So it's like we needed that space because we haven't been seen. And I don't want, and another message I put out there, I don't want now that the brands are in 2020 are finally seeing us. I don't want that money to go away from the brands that our brands that have been putting in work. Yes. So my job is to keep pushing the narrative of our businesses and what we have been doing.
Keep it moving. That's all you can do. I mean, come on. I think more so now than ever that most people are taking notice, of that, because now we are under the microscope at the moment. They're trying to make sure that, are they going to be mad Black people? Or are they going to make this something that can unify everyone? And I think that's what the Vitamin M box does, because it does unify us, because we're not doing it, to make this like just us. We're trying to get everybody to understand it is us, but we're giving this out to everyone. So that is just a blessing.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm so excited because when I was reading your stuff and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I've never gotten to the point where I've read someone's bio and got the questions like that. Never.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, yeah, this girl, she's gonna get it this time. This is what I want to know.
I'm not taking credit for that. I want to give that up to the Saks agency in LA. When they did my bio, I was like, oh.
But it's so funny because I've had bios that been like 3 pages long, and you're like, okay, really? Like, this is what you do? Okay. All you had to do was tell me, okay, you're an author. You've done this before. You've done that before. And just put it on a piece of paper. And now it's like, it's funny because I'll come across people and I'll be like, hey, yo, by the way, send me your bio.
Right.
And they'll be like, a what?
Yeah. And that's another thing. That's another thing that we have to learn. Like there's certain things that part of business that some of us just don't know, and it's about educating yourself. So I encourage anyone, if they aren't aware, of all the business aspects of it, dig deep and get the education.
Yeah.
Because we want to be well versed when we're running. We want to be on point when we're running our businesses.
I think it's funny because like for those that are like you said, kind of like coming from here to there, but you've had moments where those were so like enormous for you. They stand out a lot better than most of the other ones.
Yeah.
And it's like I try to get people to highlight those. Like highlight those moments. I want
Yeah.
those.
Yeah. That's what I want.
That's what I want. I mean, everything else is nice. It's very nice, but it's not as loud as that specific moment. And that's what I try to get people to understand. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm just going to explain to you why I do what I do.
Okay.
I do what I do is because most people feel like they're stuck in what they do and can't get out.
Mm-hmm.
I try to highlight what it is that people what moment in time that it took for them to make a decision to do something different, to
Right.
go somewhere different, to step out, take a risk. You better step out on faith. If you know
Yeah.
who your creator is,
Right.
do what you got to do. And so I've heard, and it burns me. I'm just waiting on God.
Mm-hmm. But
Wait, what?
you gotta put the work behind it.
First off, God already gave it to you. Why are
Mm-hmm.
you not using? You
Mm-hmm.
have the tools.
Mm-hmm.
You're not listening to that voice in your head that wants the passion to do something for
Right.
themselves.
Right.
Because we've been grown up to do just the mundane,
Yeah.
day in, day out situation. Oh, you can pay your bills, you got a roof over your head, you got clothes in your back, kids got full bellies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but at the same time, if you took that energy that you did to do everything else around your life for yourself, how much better
Yeah.
would your life be?
Mm-hmm.
And here you are.
Absolutely.
There she is, y'all. There it
Thank
is.
you. You just have to know that like it's not an easy road. You have to be geared up and ready to put in the work,
Yeah.
make sacrifices where you need to make sacrifices, and focus on what your end goal is, because that keeps you moving. What is your why? You
Yes.
know.
Yes. And that's so important. Like if you don't have a why, you really don't have a reason
Mm-hmm.
for anything at that point.
Yeah.
And so,
Yep.
you know what, girl?
You're so sweet. Thank you so much for having me, though. This is great.
Thank you. Well, if there's any other information that you want to give to the Mayan tribe.
Yes. Yes. So everyone, I want you, if you haven't yet, to download the Promote Her TV channel app. We are on, if you have Roku, if you have Amazon Fire Stick, and if you have Apple TV, those are our subscribed platforms. But you can also download our app through Apple iOS, through Droid Google Play, Web TV, and we have a YouTube channel.
YouTube.
Just search Promote Her TV. Make sure Promote Her TV is spaced. And every Monday, starting, oh God, what date is that Monday? I don't even know what date's coming up.
30th, I believe.
No, because today's the 18th.
Today is the 18th. That Monday is the 22nd.
June 22nd. Ah! My show, The Vitamin M Suite, is premiering on the Promote Her channel, and I'm so excited. So the Vitamin M Suite is the chill spot where Black excellence thrives. So I will be interviewing Black entrepreneurs in different industries, and I'm so excited. I want you guys to tune in. I will be hosting an after show on my Facebook live page. You can find me on Facebook on Vitamin M. We'll be hosting an after show at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that night. The show runs on the Promote Her channel on Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So
So 8:30 is Central, right?
is Eastern. 8:30 Eastern. And then my after show will be 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, so tune in, subscribe to the Promote Her channel. There is so many different shows that are already on there. So many shows coming up. And this is my son barging in. Mommy, I don't remember, but baby, I'm doing something. Toy Story. Oh my goodness! See, mommying. we were doing so well. We were almost there.
I know, we were almost there. Home stretch.
Almost there. So yeah, so tune in to the Promote Her channel. Tune in Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Vitamin M Suite. I'm so excited about it.
I'm super excited about it. You guys don't know. Girlfriend's got it going on. You see how she is. Like, she's so cool, man. I've been trying to get her for a few minutes. So she's
I'm so glad to be able to chat with you. You are like, every time we have we have a networking party tonight, but every time we have like a networking party or something and I see you, your smile is like this bead. I'm like, oh my God, look at my smile. I feel better today.
I just love everybody. I love people, and I just get so excited, and I can't help myself. Cheeks hurting and everything by the time I get off the call. But I love it. So thank you so much for your time, dear heart. You are a blessing to all of us. Yes, and you are the light that is shining ever so bright. Everybody, I'm telling you. What's the name of your show, dear?
The Vitamin M Suite.
The Vitamin M Suite.
Hosted by me, Kerry Croft.
Girl, don't ask me what I was calling you. Anyway,
it was like Kerry Q stuff. That's okay. I knew I was gonna say my name again. So
I appreciate it. But you have a wonderful day. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love you so much. Have a wonderful day.